Okay. I'm inclined to think this is going to work. Okay. I think we're live. Maybe. I think we are live, but it's a little weird at the moment. So, if anybody's here on the VOD, Portal RTX does not like being streamed very much. So, I'm currently working out... stop attacking the cable! My cat's is on my fucking computer cables. Trying to currently work out the best way to do this. And I have it set up to just show the whole desktop and capture all the audio. And obviously, I'm not going to be able to Alt-Tab for that. So, bear with me a sec. I haven't announced edit anywhere yet, but I just need to set this up on my phone so that I can actually effectively catch the comments from everybody. So bear with me just a moment. Actually, effectively, right. So I've got that video URL there. Okay. I have no one else joining me today, so I hope you guys like the sound of my voice, because it's the only one you're going to be hearing today. But that's totally cool. I like to think I'm not, you know, intensely unlikable. So, that's fine by me. Okay, and post that there, and... post that there, and for anybody who's joined, I already said it for the VOD, but just for your benefit, Portal RTX doesn't like being streamed. I think I've worked out how to get it to work. But just bear with me a sec, because none of my streaming setups that I usually use were working today. Oh, why is it listed as private? That's weird. That is really weird. Why is it? Huh. Sorry, bear with me a sec. Huh. Why is this stream private? Oh! Whoops. That'll do it. Right, I think it's working now. Maybe? Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm not sure what was going on there. Hello there, Pterosaur. Right. Okay. I need to... Okay, that's fine. I didn't even put out the fucking tweet yet, so we're alright. Okay, right. So, for the third time, because this stream is... This is not going well so far. So, let me just explain to people how this is going to work real quick. The reason why it's a black screen is because Portal RTX does not like being streamed, in fact. So, the way I'm doing this, I'm actually streaming my whole desktop. So, I kind of need to be careful about when it's on and when it's not. So, I think that'll now work. Can we set? I've got the stream over on my phone. I think that'll now work. Okay, and I can hear my volume. Can you guys hear in-game volume? Should be able to hear me rapidly clicking these buttons if you can hear the in-game volume. Yeah? Okay, cool, right. CY base is functional. Let's go. So, Portal RTX, let's go. Yeah. So,
Hello, and again, welcome to the Aperture Science Computer-Aided Enrichment Center. We hope your brief detention in the relaxation vault has been a pleasant one. Your specimen has been processed, and we are now ready to begin the test proper. Before we start, however, keep in mind that although fun and learning are the primary goals of all Enrichment Center activities, serious injuries may occur. For your own safety and the safety of others, please refrain from Stand back. The portal will open in 3, 2, 1.
Alright.
Your business is appreciated.
So, first of all, full disclosure, there may be problems with the stream because it's not quite working the way I expected it to, as in I had to do a bunch of weird stuff with the stream setup to actually be able to even get this to show. So, hopefully it's fine throughout, but if there's any problems, please let me know, because, I mean, I can play it, it's working fine, so that's okay. This Portal RTX can also be a tiny bit unstable, so we might have a crash or two, but we'll see. I have played Portal RTX a couple of times already.
Into the chamber lock after completing each test. First, however, note the incandescent particle field across the exit. This Aperture Science material emancipation grill will vaporize any unauthorized equipment that passes through it. For instance, the Aperture Science weighted storage cube.
Alright. Can't really hear me over GLaDOS. Let me just... I'll turn down the in-game volume a little bit as well then. Because, not that I am more important than GLaDOS, but, you know, I wouldn't be a very good host if you couldn't hear me. So, there's a lot of really nice details I like in Portal RTX for a lot of things. Like, the buttons just have so much fine detail. And, like, I've described it to a friend as basically every time you walk up to an object, you can walk all the way up to an object and you can keep seeing detail no matter how like close you walk up to an object, right? Like there's just more details. The shadows are a little bit funky in some places. But I'm in the thumbnails of regulation mod 1. Ah, this stream's being all kinds of funky today. It shouldn't be. I said it's the RTX Portal one. Okay. Cool. See, that's... Okay, I just saw on my stream there. It's just where I didn't have any sensitive open, because I just fucking saw that's what happens using this OBS preset. Right. I'm just gonna have to hope this is good enough, because I kind of don't want to risk that, to be honest. Right, let's go. It's annoying, but it's not streaming properly, so I have to actually stream... So I said before, but the way OBS is not picking it up as a game, which is really weird. So I'm having to stream my whole screen, basically, and then just compress the canvas to a small amount. So that's why there's... If I alt-tab out, you're gonna see, like, my browser and stuff, so... I don't have anything weird open, so that's fine, but, you know, just something worth keeping in mind. I think this elevator is very nicely detailed. The glass is interesting, just because, there's no glass on the outside, right? So it's like, it's interesting, where's the glass coming from? But, yeah. Very nice how it casts a nice bit of light across here. I don't think you'll hear Discord pings because OBS actually silences a lot of background pings and noises and stuff, so I don't think those will interrupt.
Please place the weighted storage cube on the 1500 megawatt Aperture Science Heavy Duty Super Colliding Super button. Perfect. Please move quickly to the chamber lock, as the effects of prolonged exposure to the button are not part of this test.
So, before we progress, I just thought I'd put that on and go very gently go up to here. There's some really nice details on these things. Some very nice details in a lot of these props. So here, for example, the actual side here, the yellow is actually giving off illumination and light. Which I think is really cool. Also, the actual camera lens as well, you see? There's reflection there. And I can see myself in it, which I think is really interesting. There's a lot of great details like that. They really went all out on the details for this one. Each of these individual like nuts is very well detailed, man. And let's also take a gander in here, of course, because this stuff is done as well. Now, not the doors, which I guess makes sense because you never actually get in here. So like, how well can you see the doors through here, right? But these chairs have been redone because I guess they're later on in BTS as well. I think they're really, really nice. Oh, they've got like a little A. Now, an interesting thing is if you ever want to actually see a direct comparison, you can go like this and just disable the enhanced assets, enable them. You see the comparison. Now, the ray tracing's on in any case, but you can use that to basically directly compare the quality of certain assets. That's not what I meant to do. There we go. There we go. I think that's pretty cool as well. Now, here's an interesting thing, which actually might have still been, this might have still been the enhanced one, if it's true. No, it wasn't interesting. Okay, here's an interesting thing worth noting. I assume it's true over here? Yes, it is true over here. Okay, so, you might have noticed, some models, like the doors, are still the high-res versions. And the reason for that is because some of these things are actually... if a model had skins, as far as I understand it, it didn't actually work as well with the tool. So then they had to still do it via the custom folder. So a lot of the time, if it's a skin, it's still the original asset, but it's just been enhanced. We've toyed with the idea of doing like a RTX thing for RTBR maybe, but the main thing is like how many people would be able to play it, and not only would how many people would be able to play it, how many of my own damn developers would be able to play it. You know what I mean? Like that's a key consideration. So yeah. Also, even just Division 1 of RTBR can take as long to beat as all of Portal, right? Division 1 and Division 2 takes easily longer than Portal.
But is an unintended side effect of the Aperture Science Material Emancipation Grip, which may, in semi-rare cases, emancipate dental fillings, crowns, tooth enamel, and teeth. Very good. You are now in possession of the Aperture Science handheld portal device. With it, you can create your own portals. These intradimensional gates have proven to be completely safe. The device, however, has not. Do not touch the operational end of the device. Do not look directly at the operational end of the device. Do not submerge the device in liquid, even partially. Most importantly, under no circumstances should you...
So you see there, it's kind of hard to see here because it's pretty bright already, so let's do it back here. See how the light comes through the portal? That's one of the coolest features, the way that the light actually travels through the portals. Also, the elevator's own light's actually reflecting back on itself on the railing. I think that's also a really nice feature. And also the appearance that the bright blue portals give as well, and the bright orange ones in dark
Please
rooms.
proceed to the chamber lock.
Oh, that's a
Mind
really
the
good
gap.
example. Look how bright that is. Shining through the portal.
To ensure the safe performance of all authorized activities, do not destroy vital testing apparatus.
So, if you scan these QR codes on the bottom, they lead to secret codes that unlock various cubes. It took only about an hour for the community to find literally all the cubes though. So, just look it up on the Steam guides place and you'll be able to find it easily enough. I think it's incredible some of the fidelity of this stuff. It's kind of harder to see on these ones because they're pretty high.
For your own safety,
Pretty
do
high,
not destroy vital testing apparatus. Well done. Remember, the Aperture Science Bring Your Daughter to Work Day is the perfect time to have her tested.
I'm gonna be quiet when GLaDOS is talking just because it's actually like she's pretty loud. And in order for me to be heard over her, I'd have to turn the game volume to a point it can barely be heard. So, we're not gonna do that. I mean, it's like, just look how sharp this board is, for example, right? Like, just each of these symbols and stuff. It's really nice. And obviously you can look a little bit closer at the camera when it's off the wall as well. I'm trying not to speedrun this, because I've had a lot of fun just speedrunning Portal the last couple of days. Just playing it all over again. I'm trying to take it nice and slow so you guys can see the details. Part of the reason I wanted to do this stream was because I honestly think Portal RTX is amazing. I know there's a lot of people who really don't like it, and that's totally cool. But I think Portal, if you don't like it, that's totally up to you. But I fucking love this. I think Portal RTX is amazing.
You're doing quite well.
I can't wait until I can do stuff like this myself. Not necessarily in R2BR, but just, you know, toy with stuff like this myself as a hobbyist, right? Because this is going to be something all of us can do, eventually, right? I know right now it's difficult to have the hardware, right? But think of like, you know, 5-6 years down the line, when the 20 series cards move into the low end, the 30 series cards become the mid end, right? Like, this kind of thing will be accessible, right? This is watching innovation in action. I'm fortunate enough, like I understand this absolutely, and I'm humble about this because I understand I'm very fortunate for this. I'm fortunate enough to have a PC that can run this pretty damn well. And so I wanted to give everybody the opportunity to take a look at it and to see some of the details for themselves, right? And so if any of you in the chat who is not currently able to play this but really wants to play this at some point, at any point wants to see a detail up close, just leave it in the chat and I will no clip right up to it and you can see all the details you want. Because that's partially what my goal is here. To actually give people a chance to kind of experience it, even if they're not able to directly play it themselves. I think it's amazing, and I think everyone should be able to be a part of this as much as possible.
Test chamber. You will be entirely on your own. Good luck.
Here's a cool one. So in here, you see how the blue reflects off the metal, and you shoot the portal. So that's pretty cool. Oh, thank you, Zap. I was getting a little bit annoyed by the portals, by the radios, truth be told. So, portal disable radios 1. You guys want to see the cubes? That's totally cool.
Vital testing apparatus destroyed.
So, before I do that, I don't want to open up my actual Steam guide thing and start browsing about. So, could one of you guys do me a favor? And, you know, actually I can do this on my phone. No, don't worry guys. Bear me a sec. I'm just going to input all the codes for all the different cubes, so that then I can just turn them on as we're playing, so that you guys can see all the different variants. So just bear with me one sec, guys. And then we'll get right back to it. I'm just looking it up on my phone so that I don't accidentally, you know, alt-tab into something sensitive like personal data or something. Because that would not be ideal. Right. Community. So, how do you access the community tab on the Steam mobile? Oh, I'm not familiar. Oh, community. There we go. Community home, and find a game. Portal with RTX. Also, I can't have the chat open at the same time, so bear me one sec, guys. If you guys are typing. Soon as I've got these codes put in, I will catch up on the entire chat and chat to you guys, and we'll get that all done. Right, physically based. That's the first one. That's for ice. Fully path traced is the next one. And then after that, we've got Omniverse Kit. Okay, that's for camera, and then we've got direct illumination. Okay, then we've got Cave Johnson. Okay. Jensen. In case you guys were curious what that one's about, Jensen is the CEO of NVIDIA, so that's why that one's a thing. And then 40 series, and then that's the RTX cube. And then we'll unlock the companion cubes one anyway, just because we're not... we'll unlock the companion cubes one anyway, just so we're there when we... yeah. And I already had the digital one unlocked, but yeah. So I'm gonna set it to digital by default. Okay, let me get back to the stream. Okay, hey guys, I am back onto the comments here. Actually, I didn't actually miss any comments, so that's totally cool. Thanks, guys. Alright, let me get this cube up here. Alright, let's cycle through the cubes. First, let's check out the ice cube. That is a cube made of ice. I'll say that. Oh look, there's a little rock. There's a little drawing on the rock of a companion cube, of a guy in his companion cube. That's pretty cute. Look at the way that refracts, dude. With the environment and everything. And the edges of the portal. That's pretty funky. Alright, done the ice cube. Let's take a look at the lens cube next. So this one's pretty cool. I wonder how long it'll be before someone puts this into a Portal 2. Because this one's literally just a Portal 2 cube, right? So... got all kinds of cool refractive features. And round the other side, it's all upside down and refracted. It's pretty cool. Alright, let's have a look at camera. So this one is just kind of a fancy one with camera lenses, I guess. That's pretty cool. So this is going to be similar to the same material used on those cameras.
Vital testing apparatus destroyed.
Right? Because it's the same kind of lens material. You've also got a nice bit of emissive around the edges. A circle as well as each of these lines. Next one then is the digital skull. So that's the same one, but it's got like a skull pattern in front of it. Seems to be like on several flat planes. That's pretty interesting. So it's not actually just stuck on top. It's like several flat planes over it. Like several... Well, not they're flat. They're curved, in fact. That's pretty cool. Giving off red light as well. So if we put it in a darker place, red light underneath it. That's pretty cool. Okay. ISO Wheatley, this one is called. So, I don't know why it's called that, but this is a funky looking cube. Here's my theory, Jess. I theorize these were all developer test cubes to test material settings and stuff, and then they went, hey, we've already modeled these, why don't we put them in the game as secrets? I could be wrong on that, I don't know for sure, that's just my theory. If they modeled them just for this, that's really cool. And even if they're just developer secrets that they put in, it's like, you know what? That's kind of cool as well, because this whole thing, right? The whole of Portal RTX is about cool stuff and seeing how it all works, right? And so I think it's really cool to, you know, be able to dig into that. Anyway, we'll check out the ISO Voyager next. Now that's a really cool material. That's like a sort of a... like a Voyager probe. I guess that's why that's what that's called. Almost like aluminium foil, right? It's a really cool material as well. See it especially well in the light. Next is ISO Black Mesa. So this one is, I think, just meant to test like the normal map, right? So you see the normal map detail in the light of like each individual crease of the cloth, kind of reacting to the light appropriately. I think that's pretty cool. Oh yeah, especially along that top there. Alright. RTX finally. This is the cube that blows up the game, of course. RTX in giant bold letters on the left. It says NVIDIA on the bottom and on the top. Honestly, this looks like the most high poly of these cubes, which I find really funny. It's got all the individual details and everything from an RTX card, so that's pretty fancy. This one presumably gives off green light. Yep, that it does. That's pretty cool. Okay, and that's all the normal cubes. So when we get to the companion cube, we'll do the same thing again. What am I doing? There we go. What cube do we want to play with for now?
As part of a required test protocol, our previous statement suggesting that we would not monitor this chamber was an outright fabrication. Good job. As part of a required test protocol, we will stop enhancing the truth in 3, 2...
Interesting, there's a QR code on the bottom of that as well, by the way. Anyway, what cube do we want to run with for the whole of this playthrough? I'll give you guys the option. Default or like, what are we thinking? Oh yeah, that's maybe Pterosaur. You might be onto something. This is making my computer run very warm, by the way. Making my room nice and hot. Skull cube, yeah? Alright, let's roll with the skull cube for now. When that's relevant again.
While safety is one of many enrichment center goals, the aperture unbelievable. You,
subject name here,
must be the pride of.
Subject hometown here.
So, if I recall correctly, they couldn't change any of the particle effects for Portal RTX, so what they did was they generally just either AI upscaled them or added a emissive mask to them, basically. So for example, that's why some of these particle effects are still the same, but sometimes they look a bit better. It's because they AI upscaled them to still look a bit better. So that's pretty nice. Let's no clip up there real quick. Have a nice look at this ball catcher. There's some good details there. So here's also how I understand it. Some of these props, right, look pretty nice, but you get up close and they're not as detailed. So here's what I think is the reason why. Because this one, for example, this one looks really good, but it's clearly not glowing the same blue as all the other ones. I think they generally struggled a little bit when working with animated props. So sometimes these animated props are a little bit less in some areas and a little bit more in other areas. So that's just something worth bearing in mind if an animated prop looks a little bit funky. And by the way, I streamed this to the RTBR development team the day it came out. And we saw so many props which we're probably just going to use. Like, we're just going to slap them in RTBR. Because, you know, we're already remodeling quite a lot of normal props in order to improve the visual fidelity of the game, like barrels and quite a lot of menial props, right? And there's a lot of Half-Life 2 props remodeled in Portal RTX, right? So our thinking was, why not save some work? Like, for example, the Half-Life 2 bucket is remodeled in this to like super nice quality. Do we really need to remodel another bucket?
Devices are required on all mobile equipment. However, alarms and flashing hazard lights have been found to agitate the high-energy pellet and have therefore been disabled for your safety. Good. Now use the Aperture Science unstationary scaffold to reach the chamber lock.
I think these look pretty nice. Hey look, we've got like a little glass thing on the end so you can look at them. I think that's pretty nice. I think that's the first time I've spotted that particular detail. Anyway, there's more than a couple Half-Life 2 props, excuse me, that have been remodeled in Portal RTX, and so we'll probably port those over and include them. And NVIDIA is actually cool with people utilizing the assets. They want people to use it. They want to engage with the modding community. So yeah.
Please note that we have added a consequence for failure. Any contact with the chamber floor will result in an unsatisfactory mark on your official testing record, followed by death. Good luck.
Now the goo reflections. Very nice. That is some nice goo, one might say.
Very impressive. Please note that any appearance of danger is merely a device to enhance your testing experience.
Just a couple back and forth so you guys can have a look at that. And I actually haven't done one of these areas either yet. I think it was a good choice for RTX as well. And I think the main reason it was a good choice for RTX was because it's quite short. So you can really fit quite a lot of detail into a small space, right?
The Enrichment Center regrets to inform you that this next test is impossible. Make no attempt to solve it. Fantastic. You remain resolute and resourceful in an atmosphere of extreme pessimism.
skull cubes hit different. I think they're probably interested in doing more stuff like this, but it remains to be seen with what, right? Now that's one of the few things I'm not quite sure about.
Previous one. Momentum.
That's something I'm not quite sure about personally. The Emancipation Grow effect appears to be quite, like, busted at the moment. Like, nothing really seems to happen when you actually put something through the grid.
Vital testing apparatus destroyed.
I'll demonstrate it when I can.
Spectacular. You appear to understand how a portal affects forward momentum, or to be more precise, how it does not. Momentum, a function of mass and velocity, is conserved between portals. In layman's terms, speedy thing goes in, speedy thing comes out.
Oh yeah, here's an interesting one. Look at the metal when the portal gets reflected. That's a pretty cool one as well. And I'll slap on the no clip again so we can have a look at in here. Any new props? Okay, so here's what I mean. Here's an example. This is just a generic wall light prop, right? Half-Life 2 uses this prop quite a lot. So on RTBR, we use this prop quite a lot. So this is probably a prop we were going to remodel at some point anyway. Because, you know, when you want to up the entire visual fidelity of a game, of the mod and game and everything, it's quite often a good idea to start with really commonly used assets, right? Like, if you start with the assets that are used 90% of the time, that's why we've done stuff like barrels and all that already, it already pushes you towards that direction. So this asset here is a really prime example for Half-Life 2 mods that want to up visual quality to start with, because this is just a very commonly used asset. Why not use it? And I think that's what Nvidia is hoping people will do. They're hoping people will engage with this content, right? There's nothing particularly interesting in here, but the BTS areas have quite a lot of Half-Life 2 specific props, which we'll see when we get there.
The Enrichment Center promises to always provide a safe testing environment. In dangerous testing environments, the Enrichment Center promises to always provide useful advice. For instance, the floor here will kill you. Try to avoid it.
Ah, shit. I'm gonna lose it, aren't I? Nah, I'm good. There we go.
The device has been modified so that it can now manufacture two linked portals at once. As part of an optional test protocol, we are pleased to present an amusing fact. The device is now more valuable than the organs and combined incomes of everyone in
Subject hometown, here.
Interesting. I think this is a pretty interesting room. But yeah. There's nothing to bring through the grid here. Let me see if there's anything. No. So, like, RTBR might have use for, like, these generic desk props, and we may even... And what we could do, for example, is we could just retexture this stuff to remove the Aperture Science logo, right? And then have another desk chair to use. Because, you know, retexturing stuff in Portal RTX is going to be a bit tougher because everything's using PBR, which stands for Physically Based Rendering, and multiple different layers of material, right? So it's going to be quite a bit harder for people to actually retexture stuff in Portal RTX. What's not going to be hard is retexturing the Portal RTX assets and using them elsewhere. So you might see non-RTX Portal mods using them, which I think would be pretty cool. think that's a pretty cool concept. I already said I think it'll be interesting when someone makes a mod, and I think this is going to happen sooner rather than later. Makes a mod that basically puts all the really fancy assets in normal Portal, and maybe makes an asset pack out of it for people to use their own Portal mods. Give me one sec, guys. Righto, I'm back. Thanks, guys. Okay, I'm still going to try and find you an example of an object to go through an emancipation grid, but as I say, the effect actually seems to be missing at the moment. Hopefully that's something they patch, because I think it would be a shame if it wasn't patched back in somehow.
Now that you are in control of both portals, this next test could take a very, very long time. If you become lightheaded from thirst, feel free to pass out. An intubation associate will be dispatched to revive you with peptic salve and adrenaline.
There's a few assets which they don't seem to have replaced yet. So for example, like these pipes down here are default Half-Life 2 pipes, and they don't seem to be replaced yet. Now, they might do like some post-launch content stuff, right? But I guess it would also be like maybe some props they just didn't feel were important enough to replace in the first place. So that could be why in some cases.
As part of a previously mentioned required test protocol, we can no longer lie to you. When the testing is over, you will be missed.
We have an emancipation grid there, don't we? So I could... Here. So, here's the effect here. As you can see, for some reason the effect doesn't currently show, which is a shame. Oh well. I think it's a shame, because I think they could have done some really cool lighting stuff with that, like sparks going everywhere, casting lighting, you know what I mean? I think it's a shame in that respect.
All subjects intending to handle high-energy gamma-leaking portal technologies must be informed that they may be informed of applicable regulatory compliance issues. No further compliance information is required or will be provided, and you are an excellent test subject.
Sorry, one sec. Okay, cool. So, I think it's not this room, but I think the companion cube room has my favorite room in Portal RTX. Also, here's an interesting thing that people might not be aware of. NVIDIA considers Portal RTX a mod. They don't consider it a game. They don't consider it a standalone title. They consider it a mod, right? And I think that's really cool that they are not afraid of just saying straight up, yeah, it's a mod, right? Oh. That's not ideal. Whoa! That's not intended. Whoops. Yeah, maybe a tiny bit. I think the energy ball light is one of those things that, like, they really wanted to demonstrate it. Because, like, it does really strongly demonstrate what this is capable of, but the sacrifice is, any kind of readability, right? What? Ah, son of a bitch. There we go. I struggle a little bit with this one. Ah, you're fucking kidding me. This is one of the bits I always struggle with a little bit, getting the timing right on the ball. You can do every other puzzle in this game pretty easily these days, but this is just one I always struggle with it. Why'd I do that? I just did a stupid... I understand how you're supposed to do this, by the way. I know you're supposed to jump across these and do it. It's because I got used to doing the challenge chamber. Oh, I'm fucked. No, it's fine. Don't worry about it. I'm not gonna make the same mistake. Ah, you can't make me. Almost there.
Very, very good. A complimentary victory lift has been activated in the main chamber.
Okay.
The Enrichment Center is committed to the well-being of all participants. Cake and grief counseling will be available at the conclusion of the test. Thank you for helping us help you help us all.
So I think one of the things I feel like could be better is the emancipation grid, right? No, they don't. This is not done with any kind of engine code to the source. So the way that this is actually done is using an external program called RTX Remix. And what RTX Remix can do is you can basically feed any compatible game into it, and then it basically intercepts the it basically intercepts like all the graphics that are coming on the screen, and then it replaces them in real time, right? You alright? Nice. Just checking my girlfriend wasn't dying in the corner. Anyway, so this isn't actually engine side. That's why it's this easy for me to just go and just disable stuff, right? It's like code injection, yeah. It's literally like code injection, which I find really interesting. So yeah, I was about to say, Jess already said it, but I was about to say, I think it's a missed opportunity that the emancipation grid doesn't give off like this really bright blue light. Like, obviously, each of these little blue things does, right? Like, you can see clearly that they do. But, like, I feel like the whole grid should give off, like, a bright beam of light, right? I feel like that'd be pretty cool. But, oh well.
Vital testing apparatus destroyed.
Oh. I think I went through it too hard. So I overshot it. No? Intriguing. I've been playing too much Portal Prelude. It's fine. Need to be careful. I think they do have I think they did have source code access, because I think they said they had to modify some stuff, but they didn't need it, is my point. There we go. That's a little bit speedrunny, but I really like that. I like doing it. It's really cool. It's really fun to do. Plus, I think for most people, some of the most exciting stuff is probably going to be in BTS. So, I mean, obviously, stuff largely looks the same now.
Did you know you can donate one or all of your vital organs to the Aperture Science
So when we get some
Self-Esteem
Batman
Fund
stuff,
for
we'll have more
girls?
to look at.
It's true.
Yeah, it's if you don't have a Vulkan compatible card, so it has to be able to run the Vulkan API, it won't even start up. But for the record, I have a friend who has a 2060 Super.
The appropriate chamber for this testing sequence is currently unavailable. It has been replaced with a live fire course designed for military androids. The Enrichment Center apologizes for the inconvenience and wishes you the best of luck.
Okay, anyway, what I was going to say was, I'm not sure then. I'm not sure why it doesn't. I know a couple of people with AMD who have managed to get it running, sort of. But it clearly seems to work best on actual NVIDIA hardware. I do have a friend who was running it on a 2060 Super, which was a 2060 Super, and on the ultra performance mode. So that's like in here they went to here, and then in quality they went to ultra perf. I'm playing it on quality mode at the moment, but on ultra performance mode, they were able to. There we go. They're able to do that. That'd be good. So even on a 2060 Super, you should be able to get this to run. I had a friend. I got distracted by the turret there. I had a friend who managed to get this to run at not 60 frames per second, but like 40 or something, so playable at 1080p on a 2060 Super on ultra performance mode. So it's possible.
Put me down. Malfunction activated.
So these turrets have a lot of great detail, but it's pretty hard to see here.
Resting.
It's much easier to see in the behind the scenes areas, so we'll dig into that then instead. But speaking of behind the scenes areas, so I believe all of these assets were AI upscaled. I don't think these are redone from scratch. I am right-handed. All of these assets, all of these decals were AI upscaled, I believe. Not redone from scratch. Although, one thing that was done from scratch was their material settings. You see how they're more matte than the surface that they're actually painted on. And that the portals, or the, not portals, the posters, also have different settings. That's something they did themselves. I think that's pretty cool. Here's where we can talk about a few props that RTBR will be nicking. This is a prime example. This plug is pretty cool. Zoom in on the text on the Aperture poster. What, this one here? I can't zoom in, but The thing that makes me think it's possibly AI upscaled is like the edges of the decal. That's what makes me think. Same with that one. I think with the tasty one, it's a little more obvious. Let me grab a cube. With the tasty one, this one looks AI upscaled to me. I don't know about you guys. This one could be original, and the reason why is because it's quite a simple graphic. But because this one's quite a complicated graphic, this one looks like it may have been AI upscaled instead. Like the way that the S and the T and the Y look. But yeah, these plugs are going in RTBR, 100%. They look really, really nice. We aren't just going to shove stuff into RTBR with no tweaks, by the way, because this would probably blow up maps. So what we're going to do is probably like optimize them a little bit ourselves. But it is still, and I say this as someone who does a lot of 3D modeling myself, right? So I do know this kind of stuff. It is much easier to just optimize something like this than to actually remodel something like this of this quality. So it could be so it would be a lot easier, and it's going to be a big boon to our workflow. I don't think you'll see any of this stuff in the Division 2 full release because we're too close to the wire, but you'll probably see it in the next release after that, which will probably be a demo for Division 3 whenever that is. High quality frying pan. And of course, the high quality bucket. Hey, Chris Dev. Thanks, Koi Goi. It's going well. This evening, we'll probably be commencing the final stage of our testing. So we'll see how that goes. Bear me just a sec. Sorry, I was just checking some Discord notifications on my phone because I had a ping or two from the RTBR server, and I wanted to check that without actually alt-tabbing into the RTBR server because I don't want to accidentally spoil a bunch of shit. So that probably makes sense to you guys. An asset that's unfortunately not going to make its way into RTBR is the RTX 4090. We're not slapping that in RTBR, I'm afraid, guys. But no worries. So just so you know, this door decal was also actually redone. Like, that's really cool. This fan is also redone. This will go in RTBR as well. We're using that in RTBR in some places. And so was this turbine thingy model, which I think is really cool. So we'll also reuse that in RTBR. So, and also just these fences, right? So I hope some of you guys are... Is my taskbar visible now? Oh, what the fuck? Hang on, let me put the taskbar on the left. I don't know why the taskbar became visible. Right. Is that better? Let me check the stream. Oh, it has? Oh, well, no worries. It's no longer there. Just so you guys know, so that you know why it is that is. I'll just explain it again for anyone who's jumped in. RTX, Portal RTX is not properly rendered, is not properly able to be streamed. There's a lot of workarounds. There's a lot of workarounds I've had to stick in order for this to properly stream. So this shimmering is basically when you have a really complicated light source in the room, and I think it's this fan here. So it's trying to calculate the lighting, but it's a little bit limited, so...
There you are.
So here's another interesting one. I think, first of all, the most interesting thing is that this is going to go over... Go over there, so that I don't have to worry about it. So, wrenches! Yes! That's why I was... Oh, I broke the cup. Shit. Well, it doesn't matter. The cup has an Aperture logo on it, so although it's a default coffee cup, which, by the way, look at this fucking detail right here. They modeled the inside, the Gibbs, to actually have grey clay. Because, obviously, only the outside clay is painted, right? The inside clay is not painted and stained, only the outside clay is. So when you break the Gibbs of the cup, the inside clay is clay coloured, which I think is great. Bruno, that is because we've turned on the skull cubes. There's a couple of options you can pick from. These are default cubes. You've got ice, lens, camera, digital skull, ISO Wheatley, I don't know why it's called that, ISO Voyager, ISO Black Mesa, and RTX. And I asked which one do we want to go with, and people said digital skull, so that's why we're using the skull ones. You can change between any of them. It's a bunch of ones they put in for like material testing and stuff, so. Okay, so. The wrench. Look at these. Even the tools are really high quality. So those will be going in RTVR at some point. Absolutely.
Well done, Android. The Enrichment Center once again reminds you that Android Hell is a real place where you will be sent at the first sign of defiance.
Okay, so here's the plan to get the new models, because I haven't done it all the way, but I have proven it's possible. So all the assets are file side in the USD format. The USD format is one used by Pixar for their rendering. It stands for Universal Scene Description, I think. Universal Scene Description. Now, Blender 3.0, which is the most recent publicly available version of Blender, has support for importing USDs with, you know, no issues. So they just import the USD, and it's got the right UV map and everything. So import the USD into Blender. The textures are just stored file side in the DDS format, which is like a texture format that's been used since like 2002. So yeah, all the assets are readable. You can just dig into it right now. Like right now, there is nothing stopping you from grabbing this turret and porting it into normal non-RTX portal. There is nothing stopping you, right? It's really easy, in fact. It's not honestly going to be that challenging. So that's why I'm pretty confident that we could do it. We may even have some, we may even manage to do some. Don't know for sure, but we may even manage to do some. You know, in time for Div 2 coming out, but I'm not sure if we will. So yeah, and it's also really cool that as Bruno says, we got the uncompressed companion cube stuff. Sorry, not companion cube. I got distracted. Uncompressed portal radio stuff.
Will deliver a weighted companion cube in 3, 2, 1. This weighted companion cube will accompany you through the test chamber. Please take care of it.
So for some reason, the companion cube was not remodeled by default, but you can turn on their remodeled version. Well, it's not their remodeled version, it's one of the couples. So now that we're here, we'll dig through some of the companion cube variants. So we've got the pillow variant, And Chell does make pain noises in Portal 1. The pillow variant. This one's obviously meant to showcase just fabric and stuff. This one's quite cute, so you can buy companion cube plushies and stuff. I think it's nice and detailed. We've got the ceramic variant, which is quite funky. It's quite nice how it's very like very shiny but not reflective, right? Like as ceramic should be. We've also got wood. On this one, the heart glows different colours. This is like a steampunky cube kind of, with the wood and the metallic accents as well. And then lastly, digital, which in my opinion I consider to be basically their remake of it, although it's not officially their remake, but I do consider this personally to be like their remake of it. It's also pretty cool though, but yeah. Okay, so another quick vote. Which cube do we want to roll with for the companion cube? It's pillow, ceramic, wood, digital. What do we want to use? Digital? If anyone has any disagreements, speak now or forever hold your peace. Hey Nico, how you doing? Koi wants wood. Got 3 digitals, 1 wood. Guys, we're gonna go with digital, I think. I think that's what we're gonna do today. Except I'm gonna fuck up the platforming immediately.
The symptoms most commonly produced by enrichment center testing are superstition, perceiving inanimate objects as alive, and hallucinations. The enrichment center reminds you that the weighted companion cube will never threaten to stab you and, in fact, cannot speak.
There we go. Let's get the fuck out of there. Alright. So this is, in my opinion, this is the shot that we use for the thumbnail. This right here. This is, in my opinion, one of the best rooms in the whole of Portal RTX. Because you've got like loads of different light sources, right? You've got the white from the observation room. You've got the red from the button reflecting up on the metal. You've got the blue along the metal floor and then the orange along the metal floor as well. And the pink of the cubes as well. So this is probably my favorite room in Portal RTX right now. That'd be pretty cool.
Vital testing apparatus destroyed.
Let's deal with that one first, because that's the easiest one to deal with. There we go. So I'm going to put the companion cube up on this one. Actually, first we're going to do this. There's not really that much more to look at here, but these ones I think were definitely AI upscaled. I don't think these were retaken from scratch. Yeah, you can tell some of these were AI upscaled. This one in particular is a little bit fuzzy and funky. But yeah. But here's another example of a nice generic pipe prop that Half-Life modders would probably appreciate. And also, this just grate prop is also pretty nice. No, the particle was not retextured, so I think Nvidia said in one of their videos that they were not able to actually replace the particle effects. So, they just applied the emissive stuff to it. I just peek through here real quick. This spotlight prop as well was also remade, so that's another prime candidate for Half-Life 2 mods. Because this is another just generic prop using Half-Life 2. So, as I'm talking, you might be putting 2 and 2 together and going, hang on a minute, there's quite a lot of props that are used in Half-Life 2 that are replaced here. And I say, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, if someone managed to do something like a Half-Life 2 RTX more easily with this, but, you know. There we go.
The Enrichment Center reminds you that the weighted companion cube cannot speak. In the event that the weighted companion cube does speak, the Enrichment Center urges you to disregard its advice.
Oh! That made me jump. I thought I was going to be able to duck and get out of the way of that one.
Companion cube
I guess
cannot
not.
speak. In the event that the weighted companion cube does speak, the Enrichment Center urges you to disregard its advice.
Well, the reason why I'm going to put them in RTBR is because in RTBR we've been remodeling a lot of these default Half-Life 2 props anyway, right? Shit. There we go. Boom. In RTBR we've been remodeling a lot of default Half-Life 2 props because our objective is to bring up the quality of the visual fidelity of the whole mod, right? And if you remodel the most commonly used basic props, the end result is you get more... I made a classic rookie mistake here. If you remodel all the obvious props, right, it improves the whole visual fidelity of the whole thing, right? So that's why. And like, you know, I have modelers that are perfect, and me myself, that are perfectly capable of remodeling a bucket, right? But like, why would we remodel a bucket when there's already a perfectly good one?
You did it.
The reason why I'm not worried about... I'll wait until GLaDOS is done talking.
However, it cannot accompany you for the rest of the test and, unfortunately, must be euthanized. You euthanized your faithful companion cube more quickly than any
There's
test
a QR
subject
code
on
on the
record.
inside of there, by the way.
Congratulations.
Okay, now that she stopped talking. Regarding style clash, I'm not worried about it, and here's why. The only props that I think we'd use from Portal RTX are props that are so generic, there's no room for style, right? Like, how many ways you're going to model a bucket, right? Or like a bean can. And there's like... And there's a lot of generic props, like the wall light as well, like... I just don't see it happening. I think we'll be fine. Because it's not... Because the stuff that RTBR is really heavily stylized in is like... really specific props, right? Like a lot of the Eli Lab stuff, right? That we've shown in a lot of updates. That stuff is kind of stylized. And of course our enemy models, which is kind of the thing that we're known for. But, like, you know, no one's gonna go, oh man, I wanted to see the RTBR bucket. You know what I mean? No one's gonna go, shit, why didn't those guys make a bucket so that I could see what that looks like? So, I don't think people will be missing out. And I think instead it will just save us time and we'll just have a nice high quality asset in there. So
The experiment is nearing its conclusion. The Enrichment Center is required to remind you that you will be baked, and then there will be cake.
oh, let's look in here as well real quick. The Chell model is just AI upscaled. Before anybody gets too excited, it is not a completely new character model, it is just an AI upscale. Let me see, this is kind of, it's not the Portal 2 model, it's actually the Portal 1 model but AI upscaled. Which kind of makes sense, because, you know, how hard is it going to be to actually... let me do this real quick. There we go. So we can kind of do that. So... it's an AI upscale of the Portal 1 model. The one thing that is pretty notable is the boots are not remade, but they did actually give PBR materials to the boots. I think they actually gave PBR materials to all of Chell, so all of her is given nice materials. Yeah, this is the corner I'm working with, and so it's largely AI upscaled, but it's got nicer materials. And also, you see on the boots, the blue bits now glow. So they actually would give off a teeny tiny bit of light. But those are the only differences. It's not the biggest model difference in the world. Anyway, let me just have a look in here. So here's another generic prop. Me and a couple of RTBR developers were just spending the entire time playing this, trying to look at props that would be nice to pilfer. And here's a good example of one. This generic handrail prop. We use this everywhere in RTBR, and it would be really, really nice. So, yeah. To slap those in there would be pretty nice. There's a mystical, lovely bucket again. Another saucepan, in case you needed to see another Ultra HD pan. And of course some more of these plug thingies, but that's about that. Right. Oh, what am I doing? Hey! Okay, that was kind of close. Alright, I swear I've played Portal before. I swear I've done it. Right, is that all of them? That's all of them. Nice. So I think for some of the models that look a little bit less like they modified them, I'm inclined to say it's because they... I'm inclined to say it's because they were animated models, and maybe animated models don't work as well with this. That would be my guess anyway. Okay, fine. Fuck you then. Right, let's do that again. We've remade quite a lot of assets from the Half-Life 2 leak so far. There's more stuff to see in Division 2, of course. When Division 2 comes out, you'll be able to dig into a lot of that stuff yourself. Would be nice to remake the T-Dog can, but we just haven't had time. I just realized I should probably... do this again. Oh, you're right, yeah. I never use that. I always go back. But I've never spotted that platform in my life. Maybe that's why I always struggle with this fucking room. Right. Yeah. Alrighty. Nope, I need that. Thank you. That's mine. Thank you. And now for my favourite part of Portal. This is my favourite bit because it's like that Portal 2 trailer. There's a bit I really like in a mod called Portal Prelude that's just like this as well. And I have a feeling maybe the guy who made Portal Prelude knows I very much like Portal Prelude.
Be advised that the next test requires exposure to uninsulated
And I think,
electrical parts that may be dangerous under certain conditions. For more information, please attend an Enrichment Center Electrical Safety Seminar.
And I think if you guys want more Portal, after having played Portal RTX or having watched me play Portal RTX, and you guys want to play some more Portal, I would highly recommend Portal Prelude. I think it is probably one of the best Portal mods,
Welcome to the
maybe the
final
best
test.
one.
When
And,
you are done, you will drop the device in the equipment
yeah,
recovery annex.
I think there's nothing to be
Enrichment
lost
Center
from playing it.
regulations require both hands to be empty
Absolutely give
before
it a go.
any cake.
Just be warned, if you do play Portal Prelude, it is not for the faint of heart. It's quite a challenging mod, that much is certain. But I think absolutely worth it. Oh, shit. I tried to get cute here, but sometimes I can do this in one go, sometimes I can't. So bear me a sec. Something that I think is interesting, by the way, is that's usually a green energy ball in Portal, but it's not here, so that's interesting.
Congratulations. The test is now over. All Aperture technologies remain safely operational up to 4,000 degrees Kelvin.
Took a couple tries, but I got
Rest
there.
assured that there is absolutely no chance of a dangerous equipment malfunction prior to your victory incandescence. Thank you for participating in this Aperture Science computer-aided enrichment activity. Goodbye. What are you doing? Stop it. We are pleased that you made it through the final challenge where we pretended we were going to murder you. We are very, very happy for your success. We are throwing a party in honor of your tremendous success. Place the device on the ground, then lie on your stomach with your arms at your sides. A party associate will arrive shortly to collect you for your party.
So,
Make no further attempt to leave the testing area. Assume the party escort submission position or you will miss the party.
thanks, Nados. Right. So this is this is a place where if you are a Half-Life 2 asset or guy or a Half-Life 2 modder and you're like, what is the possibilities? This is the part where the BTS sections are like porn for those kinds of people, because look at these fucking tanks. Look at these fucking barrels. Look at these power boxes. Gorgeous. Gorgeous shit, man. And it's gonna be great. Now, some of these have Aperture logos modeled onto them. But those can just be textured out of the model, right? And then boom, slap it in your mod. So, I think that's pretty cool. I mean, look, high quality Half-Life 2 door. Thank you very much. High quality Half-Life 2 pipe. Thank you very much. Hang on. Oh, okay. It doesn't want me to go on the pipe. Oh well. High quality pipes is the point of that. And some of these power boxes are insane. Like, some of these power boxes are just so detailed. Unbelievable. These will be lovely. Okay, now here's a really good spot to look at the turrets, because these turrets aren't going to fucking shoot me. Look at the detail on those. Those are pretty lovely in terms of detail. Now, it's a little weird that they're still on here. Like, they should probably be set to not be on. It's interesting. Is it? Okay. It's almost like I was floating there. Yeah, the detail on these turrets is insane. They should probably be turned off here because, you know, they're not actually finished built yet, but, you know, still cool. So here's another prop that's not remodeled yet. There's a couple of props like that that you'll see that aren't actually remodeled yet, but which I imagine will be at some point. Let's just go to here. Aren't these some nice looking power boxes?
Where are you? I know you're there.
Well, they are now.
Feel you here.
Boom.
Hello?
Texture pops in, and it's beautiful. Oh yeah, high quality Half-Life 2 lock as well. I forgot to show that. Yes, the lock is remodeled. What have I... Right. The lock is remodeled in all its glory. Look at that. That is going to be very nice as well. It's never going to have looked better, everybody, to shoot locks off of doors in RTBR, because we had that in a couple of places. So I hope you guys are looking forward to it. This fence, the fence door as well, and the fence door gate, and the fence. All very nice assets. Looks really cool in this context. I think it'll look even better in other contexts. This is another really cool power box in particular, like these with these screens on. These are really cool. Yeah, the poly count might be a bit high on some of these, but as I said, it is easier for us to work from here and make them less detailed than to make models of this detail ourselves. So that's a fact. Yeah, these pipes are remodeled. It's kind of hard to show these ones, but I've got no clip. I've got cheats on here, so I'll just no clip up. So these as well are high quality. Now this one is not. This one hasn't been replaced, which is a little bit odd. But these ones have been replaced. These are another commonly used pipe prop in Half-Life 2. So these are just going to be another lovely one that we can now shove in the game and it will just look nice. Right? So I see our viewer count has like skyrocketed. I just want to let you guys know we're actually already in the BTS areas, but in my opinion, the BTS areas are some of the coolest because of the asset replacements. So, you might be here for the best bit. These Half-Life 2 concrete pipes have also not been replaced, but I'm pretty sure this is the only place they're used, so that might be why. But yeah, these pipes, gorgeous. Gorgeous detailing on these pipes. Can't wait to shove them in RTBR. And this searchlight as well. And you mappers out there will know that this is actually a separate prop, this handle for the searchlight. So that's pretty nice for that there as well. Okay. Back in here. So they didn't AI upscale this text or redo it, which is a little bit unfortunate. The walkway. The walkway is just a weld texture. It's a weld brush. So I think that's probably why that's not totally remodeled. But the textures are, look at that. That's some good shit. Right. Come through here. Just gonna have a look at some more of this stuff whilst we're here. Not there. Right. No? Not there. Where's it? There's a projector room. Right. So there is an HD Eli projector as well. Boom. However, it has the Aperture logo on the side, so keep in mind you'll need to retexture that if you want to use that in your mod. I'm going to just say this now, and you can hold me to this for posterity. Any props that we port to RTBR from this, if you guys aren't aware of how to port props, but you want to use the ported props, so not RTBR specific props, but the ported Portal RTX props, if you want to use those in your own mod, you're welcome to sample them from RTBR's files, as and when we do that. That doesn't go for RTBR specific props that we've made just for RTBR, but you can use the ported stuff we've done if you're not aware of it. If someone doesn't make like an asset pack, you can just use the ones that we've ported, alright, to make your life easier. Yeah, the PCs are modeled. Remodeled as well. High quality clipboards, yes, but only high quality Aperture clipboards. You can actually read the text on this. Which is pretty cool. However, not high quality Mark V HEV suit clipboards, unfortunately, ladies and gents. That's a shame. Would have been nice. Because that can just be shoved into Half-Life 2 as well. There's a couple more props just to look at. So the interior of the PC as well. It's pretty cool. We've got an NVIDIA thing in there as well. It's pretty nice. I think the circuit board actually has 3D model detail, not just normal map detail. Yep, that's right. And the keyboard. This is like the most high quality keyboard I've seen in a game besides Half-Life Alyx. Like, look at that. It's ridiculous. How much detail there is on every individual key. And then the mouse, of course. And the mouse wheel, which has its own individual divot. That's very nice. Okay. So, let's continue. So guys, I'm going to pick up the pace a little bit because I want to have dinner. It's 8:15 and I want to order dinner because I'm going to have to... by the way, sorry, just to answer Hans's question real quick. No, I've got no crashes so far. That doesn't mean there won't be any because there's 2 very clear places that constantly crash. Anyway, I want to order dinner soon, so I'm going to pick up the pace a little bit. I'm going to stop chewing the scenery so much. But that's all good. I will still poke out any individually really interesting props that I see. Alright. I'll go at them a little bit. But we're not going to sit here and look deeply at every single prop from now on. So we're just going to get done. We're just going to move on from here. Right, now these props are very nice. Oh my god, look at the the skull refraction in the glass. That was really cool. The glass refraction is one of the coolest bits, definitely.
Okay, the test is over now. You win. Go back to the recovery annex for your case. It was a fun test, and we're all impressed at how much you won. The test is over. Come back.
Certainly would be cool.
Uh-oh, somebody cut the cake. I told them to wait for you, but they said
This is another place with the lighting that's really good because it just comes through here and it's all dynamic and shit. Also, look at the orange light from up top coming through the portal here. Another great place of it looking good. No, okay. Fine. These piston props being remade also, very nice. We get a better look at those piston props later. And these pipes, oh man, these are another very commonly used pipe prop in RTVR. And we are going to love using that, I'll tell you that much. There we go. I was jumping too quick. Or perhaps too slow, but the point is, you know. Anyway, there's also less new assets from this point forward, because the BTS stuff blows its load pretty quickly, the new assets. Like these assets, this thing is really nice looking. I will just do a... Not that, there we go. One of these. Look at that. Look at the difference in quality once the texture pops in. It's not green anymore, but that's totally fine, in my opinion. I can suffer that. Right. And searchlight. Looks nice. Very good. good looking ship, man.
Is anyone there?
Ah! Oh, that's annoying. Come on. There we go. What? I just died. Okay. Yeah, the green energy ball Teddysaur is one that never breaks.
Remember when the platform was sliding into the fire pit and I said goodbye? And you were like,
You know, the thing is, a lot of this stuff, people could...
murder you. That was great.
I think I'm getting crushed on that. I think that's what it is. I'm moving just before. I'm moving too early. I think that's what it is.
Have some fun, though.
Um,
Remember when the platform was sliding into the fire pit and I said goodbye? And you were like, and then I was all we said that we were going to murder you. That was great.
oh,
Is anyone there?
that's fine. Okay. I played this just the other fucking day. Why can't I get this right? There we go. Right. These, of course, are remade as well, and they've got like pressure valves and stuff on them, which is really nice.
You really
Oh,
should.
great example. Look at that.
This isn't safe for you. It's not too late for you to turn back. I'm not angry. Just go back to the testing area.
Pretty good looking stuff, bro. This texture, by the way, is interesting because it's still a 2D texture, but they actually just redesigned it completely. Like, that's the original, and that's a new one. It's not just an AI upscale, they actually just redid a new texture, which is pretty cool. Because what this means is you could downscale this to Half-Life 2 quality, right? And then use it in Half-Life 2 mods as an alternate world texture. And I still think that's pretty cool in of itself.
You should have turned left before. It's funny, actually, when you think about it. Someday we'll
These
remember
signage was
this
also
and
remade at the highest quality. It's pretty good as well. Alright. There's no new props in here, I don't think. We've already seen the water bottles. These are not new. Barrels as well. RTBR has already remade the barrels, so it's actually a low priority for us, but you know. But these are remade, these doors as well.
Who's there? Searching. Help. There you are. Searching. Please put me down. Put me down. Activated. Critical error.
That's an interesting little thing if you didn't know about it, that you can get those doors to open by crouching next to them.
You're not a good person. You know that, right? Good people don't end up here.
Yep, these are pretty nice generic models as well.
Still there.
Those also might actually see use in RTGR stuff. What am I doing? There we go. And are the ladder rungs remodeled? They are not. Interesting. So those won't see use in RTBR, though I don't think we use them anyway. Now these are, I think, the magnum opus of these BTS areas. Behold! high quality Half-Life 2 generator. Look at this beauty. This is probably going to be my favorite asset to shove in RTBR. Look at this shit. This is so nice. Such a gorgeous fucking generator. Shove that in RTBR. And you know what? The other thing is that this is still a generic asset, right? Like, we still wouldn't have put that much individual spin on this. So this is still generic enough we can put it in RTBR without it conflicting with the art style. But, you know what? This particular generator, right? This is a really big prop. It's usually the centerpiece of a room in terms of its detail, right? Or it's a core prop in a room because of its detail. To put this in a room, it makes the whole room look nicer. Also, just a nice thing there with the portal reflecting off the metal. But put this in here and it improves the entire room. So it is really cool to see that. I don't think there's anything new in here. So, now I need to remember what I'm doing because I got too enamored with the, oh yeah. There we go.
This is your fault. It didn't have to be like this. I'm not kidding now. Turn back or I will kill you. I'm going to kill you. And all the cake is gone.
Oh, that one hasn't been
You don't
retextured.
even care. Do you? This is your last chance.
This is still here. That's cool. It's a lot more faded now, though. Oh, these haven't been redone. Oh, that's unfortunate. Ooh, that's kind of crusty. That probably should have been redone. The tile floor was redone, though. Looks nice. Oh, sorry. Let me go back to the rocket turret real quick. I know I'm trying to be quick, but I know you guys probably want to see that in more detail. So let me go back to that real quick. I'll throw on no targets so it doesn't immediately kill me. So the rockets I do not... Although maybe the rockets in the actual turret got remodeled. Oh, leave that on. It's no clip. Yes, so the rockets in the actual turret got remodeled. So that right there is an HD replacement for the Half-Life 2 rocket. Well, HD-ish. And then the actual rocket turret itself looks pretty nice. And quite detailed. Of course, gives off green light from its eye. Okay, let's progress. Right, now here's where sometimes the game crashes, so hopefully not. Okay, game didn't crash. Woo! That's lucky, because that is the first time I played that segment and it hasn't crashed for me first time. There's no point having the cube at this point. Alright. So the money shot, people. The money shot. Oh, Nico, I did actually check the in-flight rocket the other day with very low host timescale, and it does not appear to be remodeled. So the in-flight rocket is not remodeled. The one in the actual thing, like the actual rocket turret, appears to be remodeled, but not the actual rocket itself. So that's something interesting worth noting. So if someone wanted to, they could take the rocket, the rocket that's in the turret, and then replace the Half-Life 2 one. Yeah, HD sludge. But this is the money shop, the portal down here, right? And also like that. So.
Put me down. Not functioning. I don't hate you. Put me.
Alright, you can tell I've done this before.
I don't blame you.
Sure, ask the question. Sure, ask the question again, Tedesor. Beautiful generators again, but of course. So I don't think there's anything new in here actually. These are all props we've seen before, but still, looks. This is a cool vista. Div 2, it's unlikely. Div 2.1, maybe if we have time. I'd say it's more likely you'll see this stuff ported to RTBR in the Division 3 demo. We'll probably have done most of it by then, but we're actually going to do. I don't know how much we'll get done before Division 2 comes out. Probably none. But we'll make time for what we can.
Well, you found me. Congratulations. Was it worth it? Because despite your violent behavior, the only thing you've managed to break so far is my heart. Maybe you could settle for that, and we'll just call it a day. I guess we both know that isn't going to happen. You chose this path. Now I have a surprise for you. Deploying surprise in 5, 4... Time out for a second. That wasn't supposed to happen. Do you see that thing that fell out of me? What is that? It's not the surprise. I've never seen it before. Never mind. It's a mystery I'll solve later. By myself. Because you'll be dead.
There's a big lady herself.
I wouldn't bother with that thing. My guess is that touching it will just make your life even worse somehow.
So you can see in a lot of places they've actually taken a lot of design inspiration from Portal 2's
I don't want to tell you your business,
and Portal 1.
but if
It's
it
kind
were
of a
me,
mixture
I'd
of
leave
both,
that thing alone.
which I think is really interesting. And yes, they used
Do
the
you think
Portal
I'm
2
trying to trick
cores
you with reverse
as
psychology?
a basis
I mean, seriously now.
for these. So you can clearly see
Where are
their
you taking
Portal
that
2
thing?
cores. I'll just do that then.
Okay, fine. Do touch it. Pick it up and just stuff it back into me.
And then obviously the all of these
Let's be
generator props
honest.
are remodeled
Neither
as
one
well.
of us knows what that thing does. Just put it in the corner,
That
and I'll
detail
deal with
there,
it
that's
later.
nice. And if we come up to look at the rings, of course the rings have been
That thing is
remodeled as
probably
well.
some kind of raw sewage
And this
container.
generator.
Go ahead and rub your face all over it.
With more memory and details. This is a
Maybe
really
you
good
should
model.
marry that thing since you love it so much.
I think my only
Do
problem
you
with
want
this,
to
and I'm
marry
not...
it? Well, I won't let you.
Oh, the
How
ropes
does that feel?
Ropes are behaving a little weirdly here. Interesting. These are some cool. These are cool as well.
Have I
These
lied
kind
to
of
you? I mean,
fabric
in this room?
props.
Trust me, leave that thing alone.
The top of the generator is pretty cool. Yeah, that's true. So, we'll
am
no
being
clip into the
serious
outside
now,
area
that crazy
because, obviously during the actual ending,
It's not part of any test
you
protocol.
don't actually get to just no clip around. So we'll no clip around 2 areas. We'll first do the area with the cube, and
Just
then we'll do
ignore
the
that thing
vacuum
and stand
tube.
still.
So the outside area, unfortunately, is probably one of the few areas I'd say they did kind of drop the ball.
Think about it.
I'm
if
not
that thing
such
is
a big
important,
fan
why don't I know
of this
about it?
outside area. Like there's a lot, like there's some cool stuff. Like for example, there's more remodeled default props here, right? Like these fences are more.
I'll tell you what that thing
Are
isn't.
these remodeled?
It
No, they're
isn't
not.
yours, so leave it
Are
alone.
these street lamps remodeled? Okay, the street lamps are remodeled. So the street lamps are remodeled, right? So that's cool for Half-Life 2 mods.
Are you
right?
even listening to me?
And I'm inclined to say that these sky textures and world textures have been. It's a little bit weird. I'm inclined to say these textures have been
It
area
isn't
upscaled.
yours, so leave it alone.
And there's a couple of other world textures here that have been area upscaled. There's and stuff. This prop here, these props here, these are all going to be pretty cool for Half-Life 2 modders. But yeah, unfortunately, this is not one of my favorite areas. I think there's more that could have been done with this. So, but I broadly speaking think to have an entire free thing like Portal RTX and there to be like 1 or 2 notable misses could be worse, right? And it's totally free. So I don't like this area. I think it could have been better, but we still have high quality rubble props. So silver lining, high quality rubble props. Yeah. So those will get put into RTBR. We'll look at the vacuum tubes and then we'll complete the game and then we'll call it there. High quality ladder? Unfortunately not. Oh, shame. No high quality ladder. No new oh! High quality cage light? No. I haven't, so, oh, something we didn't pick apart. There is actually a nice high quality cage light in the game somewhere. Although I forgot where, but it looks nice. I just forgot to show it to you guys. This area does look pretty nice. But one thing I'll say regarding the outside area, keeping in mind, these guys did no mapping whatsoever, right? Like, this is all done with asset work. So there's probably, and I want to give them benefit of the doubt, there's probably a limitation because of that, right? Anyway, these are all the cores. I'm not going to go looking for it right now, but just so you know, these spheres are actually also remodeled. And there, of course, is the high quality HD chalky cake. Yeah, that's actually our own remodel. They didn't remodel that one. That's not the one I'm talking about. They remodeled a generic cage light. The kind of more Chinese lamp looking kind of cage light. They didn't remodel that one, but we have remodeled that in RTBR. So that's already remodeled by us because it was really bad in Portal. Yeah, look at that cake. And look at the flame on the candle on the cake. It's pretty nice. Oh yeah, here's the generic sphere. This sphere is used for one of the challenge chambers. So they remodeled that as well. Okay guys, let's be glad or something and then wrap this up. Alright. GLaDOS time. And then... Oh, that's not what I meant to do. No! Although it is interesting to cast outside light into the chamber. It's pretty funky. Anyway.
You're kidding me. Did you just set that Aperture Science thing, we don't know what it does, into an Aperture Science Emergency Intelligence Incinerator? That has got to be the dumbest thing that... Whoa.
Good
news. I figured out what that thing you just incinerated did. It was a morality core they installed after I flooded the enrichment center with a deadly neurotoxin to make me stop flooding the enrichment center with a deadly neurotoxin. So get comfortable while I warm up the neurotoxin emitters. Huh. That core may have had some ancillary responsibilities. I can't shut off the turret defenses. Oh well.
I still have no target on. Whoops.
Well, if you want my advice, you should just lie down in front of a rocket. Trust me, it'll be a lot less painful than the neuro.
The rocket gives off light, which is pretty cool.
Alright. Keep doing whatever it is you think you're doing. Killing you and giving you good advice aren't mutually exclusive. The rocket really is the way to go. That thing you burned up isn't important to me. It's the fluid. You think you're doing some damage?
2 plus 2 is...
In base 4, I'm fine. About your behavior. Well, you've managed to destroy that part of me. Unfortunately, as much as I'd love to now, I can't get the neurotoxin into your head any faster. I'd just like to point out that you were given every opportunity to succeed. There was even going to be a party for you. A big party that all you...
Rip the Black Forest core.
Neurotoxin. So deadly. Joking. When I said deadly neurotoxin, the deadly was in massive sarcasm quote. I could take a bath in this stuff, put it in cereal, rub it right into my eyes. Honestly, it's not deadly at all.
To me...
You, on the other hand, are going to find its deadliness a lot less fun.
Okay, maybe spread down
Who's
a
gonna
bit.
make the cake when I'm gone? You. Look, you're wasting your time.
What?
And believe me,
Did it already?
you don't have a whole lot left to waste.
Huh?
What's your point anyway?
What?
Survival.
Why isn't this working?
Well then, the last thing you want to do is hurt me. I have your brain scanned and permanently backed up in case something terrible happens to you.
Okay. Right, now we're good.
Here.
I guess it was just...
That's you. That's how dumb you sound. You've been wrong about every single thing you've ever done, including this thing. You're not smart. You're not a scientist. You're not a doctor. You're not even a full-time employee. Where did your life go so wrong? Are you trying to escape? Things have changed since the last time you left the building. Back.
Alright.
I have an infinite capacity for knowledge.
And even I'm not sure what's going on inside.
All I know is I'm the only thing standing between us and our lives. Unless you have a plan to convince us of the parts of the game, that's how you control the zombie. When you have a that's complete.
Stop swarming and garlic and the dojo.
I think the most annoying thing is there's no fire out here. Still looks cool. And also, an RTX 4090. But unfortunately, no fire. So that's a shame.
Thank you for assuming the party aircraft submission position.
Alright folks, and that was Portal RTX. So I'm not gonna sit through the whole credits because, you know, they didn't ray trace the Still Alive song. Yeah. Thank you everybody for watching. I hope this was educational and that you guys enjoyed being able to dig into Portal RTX, even if you may not be able to dig into it with your actual computer. Thank you for joining me. Expect to see, you know, some of these assets, as I've said throughout this stream, in RTBR at some point. And in the meantime, who knows? Maybe, just maybe, there's more RTX on the horizon. Who knows? But thank you everybody for watching. Have a good day, everybody. And we'll see you another time.